Hello, good evening, Amisha. Welcome to the live class. Good evening, Kratika. Welcome to the live class. Wait for some time, let some more people join and then we'll start. Good evening, Kanishk. Let some more people join and then we'll start. Good evening, Archika. Archika writes it in a very stylish way. And there comes the hi, sir. Hi, Shingarika. Okay, so now we are ready to go, right? We have enough number and we can start the class. Others can join in the meantime. Now, in the previous class, we had studied a magnetic field because of a straight current carrying conductor, and then we had in magnetic field because of a circular loop, and then finally we had done a magnetic field because of a solenoid, right? I had told you to read the functioning of a electric bell, which we had done in class 9 also, and I'm sure all of you must have understood. Now, today we are going to study about force on a current carrying conductor. This is something new. Till now what we did was all revision of class 9. We had done all these topics in class 9, okay, excepting the solenoid, of course. So now we are going to do something new. We haven't done this in the previous classes, and we are going to learn this, okay. So before going into force experienced by a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field, let's get to know about Lorentz forces. Okay, so Lorentz had found that a charge moving in a magnetic field in a direction other than the direction of magnetic field. For example, in this you see that the magnetic field is from bottom to top. Okay, just a minute. Okay, in this you see that the magnetic field is running from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen. Okay, which means now this is my red thing is my charge. Okay, which means if my charge also moves in the same direction, okay, which means if my charge also moves in the same direction, it is going to experience no force. But if it moves into any other direction than that direction of magnetic field, like now we make it move perpendicular, we are making it move from the left of the screen, okay, to the right of the screen, then he says that this charge experiences a force. Okay, you can see that this dotted line shows us its path. Actually it was traveling in that direction shown by the arrow, but because of the magnetic field you can see that it has come out of the page. Okay, this charge has come out of the page. It was moving horizontally on the page and the magnetic field was vertically on the page, and when it passed through the magnetic field, then it came out of the page. Okay, so these forces which are experienced by a charge moving in a magnetic field in a direction other than the direction of the magnetic field, these forces are known as Lorentz forces. Okay, this is known as Lorentz force. So now if charge experiences a force, if there are Lorentz forces, if a charge traveling in a magnetic field experiences a force, then a conductor should also experience a force, because after all, if I have a conductor, okay, if I have a conductor, then after all it is charge which is moving across the conductor, isn't it? So if this charge experiences a force, which means this conductor also should experience a force. So let's study about that by doing this activity. Okay, the diagram with which I am already ready. Okay, we take a thick copper wire, this red wire over here. Okay, AC is a thick copper wire. Okay, and we have tied through threads. Okay, just a minute, the pen stops working somehow. Okay, so we have tied two threads. You can see that this blue colored thread, I have tied these the two ends with a thread, and now I have tied this thread to this support of the stand. Okay, I have tied this thread to the support of the stand. Okay, and now I connect this conductor with a battery. Okay, this is a battery over here. Then I connect it with a plug-in key which is open at present, and then I connect it to a rheostat. Okay, the rheostat is there so that I can increase or decrease the amount of current in the circuit. Okay, good evening Manas, you are very late. Shingarika says explain again. Explain again what, Shingarika? Shingarika, it's very simple, beta, that if a charge is moving in a direction, okay, and if this direction is not the same as the direction of the magnetic field, then it will experience a force, and this force is known as Lorentz force. Very simple. Okay, if the direction is same, it will not experience any force, but if the direction is not same as that of the magnetic field, then the charge experiences a force. It gets pushed out. Like in the case that we were doing, the magnetic field was vertically from bottom of the page to the top of the page, and my charge was moving from the left of the screen. I'll take you there. Okay, there you are. Okay, so these orange arrows here are showing the magnetic field. This is the north, okay, and this is the south. So the magnetic field runs from north to south. So these orange lines are the magnetic field lines. Okay, and this red line is showing us the direction in which a charge was moving. Okay, this charge was moving. Okay, we always take conventionally to it to be positive charge. So I have a positive charge, okay, which is moving from the left of the screen to the right of the screen. Okay, so the direction over here is perpendicular. Okay, the direction of the in which the charge is moving and the direction of the magnetic field, they are perpendicular to each other. So now what happens, that this charge, instead of going straight, it should have gone straight as shown by this yellow line. Okay, as shown by this yellow line, this is the path it should have taken. It was coming like this, so it should have gone like that. But as soon as it enters a magnetic field, it experiences a force, and instead of going straight, now it comes out of the page as shown by the dotted line. Why did it come out of the page? It came out of the page because it experienced a force, and this force is known as Lorentz force. Clear? So now we go back. Now we go back to the experiment and we discuss. So here we are. Now I have told you that we have taken a conductor AC, okay, and now I have tied this blue thread to the two ends and I have hung it to a support on a stand. Okay, next what I do is I connect a connecting wire with battery. Come on, it stops working. Okay, with battery, okay, and a key which is open at the present and a rheostat. So I'm ready. Now if the wire moves, it can drag these things. The arrangement is such that it can drag away these things. Okay, these wires are loose and nothing is stopping them. Okay, and then on a stand I mount a magnet. Okay, and you can see that the north pole of the magnet is this side and the south pole of the magnet is on the top side, which means my magnetic field is from the bottom of the page to the top of the page. Got it? And this is the positive terminal, this is the negative terminal, which means my current is going to flow this side, which means my current is going to flow from A to C. Got it? Which means I have a picture over there. Here you see. Which means that the direction of current by red and the direction of magnetic field, they are perpendicular to each other. You can see that they are perpendicular to each other. Okay, the force experienced is maximum when the direction in which the charge is moving is perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. Okay, so now when current is passed, what do I see? I see that this conductor AC, it is hung by these threads. Okay, so it can move. Okay, so as soon as current is passed, it comes inside. Okay, this red wire, it moves out. Okay, this magnet is standing like this, this wire comes out. Suppose it was like this over here, then it comes out over here. Okay, I'll show you, make the blue threads. Now this was the blue thread. Okay, and now this blue thread has been pushed out like this. It has been pushed out like this. So if this is the magnet, okay, if this is the magnet like this is the magnet. So in the earlier position it was over there, and now it has moved into the magnet like this. It has moved into the magnet. It has come, I'll make a yellow line to show you. From there it has shifted over here. Okay, the string, you can see there's an angle in the string. Earlier the string was vertical and now the string is at an angle. It has been pushed away. Okay, now if I increase the amount of current, which means if I shift the jockey towards my left, okay, so the amount of current in the circuit increases. And now what do I see? I see that this conductor is further pushed away. It comes away to a greater strength. Okay, showing that now the force has increased. I increase the amount of current and the force increases. Okay, next what I do is I reverse the battery. I change the direction. Okay, let me erase this and change the direction. So I remove this positive thing from here and I put in a negative over there. Okay, so now I have the negative this side and I have the positive this side, which means now the direction of current will reverse. Okay, I change it. Now the current is reversed. So now my direction of current gets reversed. Let me put it together. Okay, done. Okay, now the direction of current is reversed. Now this is the positive, so now the current flows this side, which means goes up, and now my current is flowing from A to C. Okay, which means it is going down over here. Now what do I observe? Just a minute, so let me undo this. So I erase all this. Okay, now I watch the same thing again. Okay, now this was the normal position of the conductor. Now suppose this was the normal position of the conductor, which means that the wires, the threads was supporting it vertically till the time I didn't switch on the current. Come on, what is happening today? Okay, so this has got to be blue. Why is it becoming yellow? There it is. Okay, so now I have the thread which is tied to this and it was like this. and now I reverse the current direction. Okay, now what happens this time? This time it gets pushed away like this. Okay, this time it gets pushed away like this, which means that the direction has changed, okay. The magnet is still the same, now this time it has moved out of the magnet. Okay, this time it has moved out of the magnet. This was its earlier position, and now it has gone that side. Come on, why are you not writing? This time it has gone that side. Okay, and if I increase the amount of current, it further goes away again. Okay, it shows that the direction of the force changes on changing the direction of current. Now we do one more thing. What do we do next? Next we change this magnet. Okay, so we remove this magnet, and we change the poles. Now we bring in the we earlier had the north pole at the bottom. Now we make the south pole at the bottom, and we make the north pole on the top. Okay, which means now the direction of my magnetic field too has changed. Now my magnetic field is to the bottom. Okay, now when I switch it on, what do I see? I see that the conductor now this time comes in. So when I change the direction of the magnetic field, then also the direction of the force changes. This time the conductor came in. Got it? If I increase the magnetic field, suppose I put 2 magnets instead of 1, or I put an electromagnet, okay, then again this increases, which shows that the force is also proportional to the magnetic field. The first thing which we had seen is that it is proportional to the current. The greater the current, greater is the force. And now if I instead of 1 magnet I put 2 magnets, I see that the force experience also increases, which shows that the force is also directly proportional to the magnetic field. I hope all of you have understood. Okay, I'll just quickly repeat whatever I said, and then I ask you a few questions. In the meantime, you can ask me anything if you haven't understood. I'll just tell you once again what all we did. Okay, when the plug-in key was off, that means when there was no current flowing in the wires, then the wires were stationary in their position. Okay, no force was acting on the wire. And when I plugged in the plug-in key, when it was closed, when current started flowing, okay, when a current was passed in a direction from A to C, okay, then a force was experienced by this conductor, and it moved into the magnet, okay, out of this page, it moved out of the page. When I increased the current, it moved to a greater distance out of the page. Okay, when I reversed the direction of current, then it went into the page. Okay, now I increase the current and it further goes into the page. Okay, I reverse the magnetic field and now it again starts coming out of the page. I once again reverse the direction of current and now it goes into. So it shows that, and if I bring in one more magnet, then it goes to a greater distance. Okay, so this shows that the force experienced by the conductor, one, is directly proportional to the current in the conductor, and number two, it is also directly proportional to the magnetic field. Okay, it is also directly proportional to the strength of the magnetic field. The greater the strength of the magnetic field, the greater is the force experience. Now tell me, has everybody understood? Some people may be wondering कि अरे हमें कैसे पता चलेगा कि अंदर आएगा कि बाहर जाएगा? I'll tell you next the rule for it, and then we go into deriving the force. Tell me, have you understood? Waiting for your answer. Have you understood? Come on, write quickly, waiting for your response so that I can move on. Nobody has written anything. What happened? Nobody is responding. Okay, so we move ahead. I assume that you have understood since nobody is asking anything. Okay, or maybe there is some issue with your network or something. So I move ahead now. Okay, how do I find in which direction this conductor is going to experience that force? Okay, so we have got something, we've got a rule known as Fleming's left hand rule. Okay, this was given by Fleming to us, and using this we can find out the direction in which the conductor will move. Okay, how do we do it? It's very simple. Okay, we first of all know this is our first finger. Okay, this is our first finger. When you have kept your left hand like this and it's facing out, okay, then this is the first finger. Okay, so F for first, F for field. Okay, so you should remember that this first finger is going to point towards the field. I'll keep it red only so that you have no confusion. Okay, so the first finger is going to point towards the field. Which field? The magnetic field. Okay, then this is the central finger. The next one is the central finger. C for central. Okay, so C for current. So I will always align my fingers, the first finger and the central finger, in such a way that they are pointing in the direction of the magnetic field and the current. And then I open up my thumb. Okay, now I open them in such a way that all three are perpendicular. This is my first finger, this is my central finger, and my thumb is up. Okay, all three are perpendicular. This also is perpendicular, this also is perpendicular. Okay, so all three are mutually perpendicular. So when I open up my thumb, then my thumb will give the direction in which the conductor or the charge will move. Okay, so the thumb will tell me the direction of the force or the direction in which the conductor will move, the direction of motion or the direction of force. Everybody understood? It's very simple. I open up my first finger, followed by my central finger, okay, followed by my thumb, and I open them in such a way, you can see in the diagram, okay, I open them in such a way that all three are perpendicular to each other. Okay, first I open this and then I bring this over here, I close the other two, and then I raise my thumb. So all three are perpendicular. As you can see, I've drawn a diagram over here, okay, and the different colors. This is perpendicular. The first finger is perpendicular to the thumb, and of course the middle finger or the central finger also is perpendicular to the first finger. So all three are mutually perpendicular to each other. And then if my first finger is pointing in the direction of the magnetic field and my central finger is pointing in the direction of the current, then my thumb will give the direction in which the conductor will move or the force will be experienced. Where were you, Shingarika? Since long you didn't answer anything and now you're telling, please explain once again. I'm doing it once again. Okay. Now, Fleming's left hand rule is used to determine the direction in which the conductor will move. Okay. Why do we use Fleming's left hand rule? मेरा चार्ज किस दिशा में धक्का खाएगा ये पता लगाने के लिए. अगर कंडक्टर है तो मेरा कंडक्टर किस दिशा में धकेला जाएगा वो पता लगाने के लिए. ओके. द डायरेक्शन ऑफ फोर्स एक्सपीरियंस्ड बाय द कंडक्टर और डायरेक्शन ऑफ force experienced by the charge or the direction in which the charge will move, the direction of motion of the charge once it passes through the magnetic field. ठीक है. हम कैसे पता लगाएंगे? हम अपना हाथ की फर्स्ट फिंगर खोलेंगे. ठीक है. और अपनी फर्स्ट फिंगर को उस दिशा में पॉइंट करेंगे जिस दिशा में मेरा मैग्नेटिक फील्ड है. हम उस दिशा में पॉइंट करेंगे जिस दिशा में मेरा मैग्नेटिक फील्ड है. उसके बाद हम अपनी मिडिल फिंगर या सेंट्रल फिंगर को ओपन करेंगे और सी से सेंट्रल, सी से करंट. अब हम अपनी सेंट्रल फिंगर को करंट के डायरेक्शन में पॉइंट करेंगे विदाउट डिस्टर्बिंग द मैग्नेटिक फील्ड. ओके. जो मैंने पहले फिंगर पॉइंट करी थी मैग्नेटिक फील्ड उसको हम डिस्टर्ब नहीं करेंगे. अगर करंट का डायरेक्शन डिफरेंट है तो आई विल रोटेट माई हैंड विदाउट डिस्टर्बिंग द फर्स्ट फिंगर जस्ट टू अलाइन द central finger with the direction of the current. Once I have done this, then I open my thumb, and now my thumb points in the direction in which the conductor will move. सबको समझ में आ गया? मैं एक बार पढ़ दूं, अभी मैं फिर से एक्सप्लेन करूंगा because I'll go up to the experiment which we have done और वहां पे हम देखेंगे कि कंडक्टर किस दिशा में ढकेला गया और क्या वो फ्लेमिंग्स रूल के हिसाब से सेट है या नहीं है. Okay, so I'll just quickly read out Fleming's left hand rule from your book. I've already explained it, and then I go back and we check out whether the direction is correct or not. Then I'll give you a small question which you have to answer using the Fleming's left hand rule. Okay, Fleming's left hand rule says that stretch your forefinger. I say the first finger. फोर मतलब सबसे सामने वाली. ओके, सबसे ऊपर वाली. सो फोर फिंगर. ऑल राइट. अब बहुत सारे बच्चे FOUR लिखते हैं. FOUR नहीं, FORE. फोर मतलब सबसे सामने. फोर फिंगर मतलब आप जब ऊपर से देख रहे हो, ऑब्वियस है आप अपने हाथ को ऊपर से नीचे देखोगे, है ना. जब आप अपने से दूर पॉइंट कर रहे हो तो जब आप ऊपर से नीचे अपने लेफ्ट हैंड को देख रहे हो, जो उंगली, अंगूठा थंब कहलाता है. इट्स नॉट अ फिंगर, दैट्स अ थंब. तो आपको सबसे ऊपर अंगूठा दिखेगा, लेकिन अंगूठे को नहीं हम कह रहे हैं, सबसे ऊपर वाली उंगली. सो द फोर फिंगर, द फिंगर विच इज क्लोजेस्ट टू यू, द फोर फिंगर, इट रिप्रेजेंट्स द फील्ड. फर्स्ट से फोर, फर्स्ट से फील्ड, फर्स्ट से फोर, फर्स्ट से फील्ड. ओके. So now I have to stretch the forefinger, the central finger and the thumb of the left hand in such a way that they are mutually perpendicular to each other. तीनों एक दूसरे से perpendicular है. ग्रीन और रेड perpendicular है, रेड और ब्लू भी perpendicular है. ब्लू दिखा रहा है सेंट्रल फिंगर, रेड दिखा रहा है फोर फिंगर और ग्रीन दिखा रहा है थंब. ओके, तो ऑल थ्री आर म्यूचुअली परपेंडिकुलर टू ईच अदर. अगर मैं ग्रीन और ब्लू देखता हूं, ओके, अगर मैं ग्रीन और ब्लू देखता हूं तो वो भी परपेंडिकुलर एक दूसरे को. ओके, इफ आई लुक ओवर हियर देन दीज ऑल्सो आर परपेंडिकुलर. दैट्स व्हाई वी से म्यूचुअली परपेंडिकुलर. तीनों लाइनें एक दूसरे से परपेंडिकुलर हैं. ओके, सो वी स्ट्रेच द फोर फिंगर, द central finger and the thumb of the left hand in such a way that they are mutually perpendicular to each other. Now, if the forefinger, first a four, first a field, if the forefinger points in the direction, if the forefinger indicates the direction of the magnetic field and the central finger indicates the direction of the current, then the thumb will indicate the direction of motion of conductor. ठीक है, तो फ्लेमिंग लेफ्ट हैंड रूल किस लिए यूज करा जाता है? फ्लेमिंग लेफ्ट हैंड रूल डायरेक्शन ऑफ मोशन या डायरेक्शन ऑफ फोर्स पता करने के लिए यूज करा जाता है. अंगूठा मेरा किधर को पॉइंट करेगा, मुझे ये जानना है बाएं हाथ से. ओके, विल गो टू द राइट हैंड लेटर ऑन इन द चैप्टर. अभी फिलहाल बायां याद रखो. जब मैं अपना फ्लेमिंग लेफ्ट हैंड यूज कर रहा हूं तो मैं इंटरेस्टेड हूं अंगूठे की दिशा में. आई एम इंटरेस्टेड इन द ग्रीन एरो ऑन योर स्क्रीन, कि ये हरा एरो किधर जाएगा. ओके, नाउ वी गो बैक टू द एक्सपेरिमेंट एंड वी फाइंड आउट कि हमने जो जो डायरेक्शंस बताए थे वो सही बताए कि नहीं बताए. ओके, सो वी गो बैक ऑन टॉप and there we are. Okay, अब ये आ गया. Now we put it full screen. Okay, now I erase all this and I go one by one in the cases. Okay, so I remove this, I remove this, I remove this, I remove this also, and I remove this also, because we'll go to the first case. Okay, and I remove this also. I'm not interested in all this. Okay. तो अब हम पता लगाएंगे पहले केस में. पहले केस में क्या था? पहले केस में जो करंट है, ओके, वो A से C की तरफ जा रहा था. So let me connect the battery there. Okay, I pick up the red line, I join it, and then I go back to my orange line and I now make this positive. Okay, I make this positive and this is negative, and this again becomes positive, this is negative. So this side is negative and that side I have positive. Okay, which means now my current is climbing up like this, which means my current is going from A to C. This is north, this is south. Okay, which means that my magnetic field, okay, which means that my magnetic field is from top to bottom. Okay, अब हम अलाइन करते हैं. अब मैंने सबसे पहले अपनी फोर फिंगर को ग्रीन एरो से मिलाना है. मैंने मिला दिया, ठीक है, मिल गया. अब मैंने अपनी सेंट्रल फिंगर को खोलना है और रेड वाले एरो से मिलाना है. वो भी मिल गया. ओके, अब वो पेज के साथ मेरा मिला हुआ. आप अपने पेज पे ड्रॉ कर लो और मिलाओ. तो वो पेज के साथ मिला हुआ है. अब मैं अपना अंगूठा खोलता हूं और मेरा अंगूठा दिखा रहा है कि ये जो कंडक्टर है ये पेज से बाहर निकलने वाला है. और हमने आपको यही बताया था कि ये कंडक्टर अगर ऐसे है तो ये वहां से इस तरफ पेज से बाहर निकलेगा. ओके, सो द डायरेक्शन इन दिस केस is out of the page. The conductor, if it is lying on the page, then it will get lifted and it will come out of the page. सबको समझ में आ गया? No response. What happened? Nobody is responding. जल्दी से समझ लो, ये आखिरी समझाऊंगा, इससे ज़्यादा नहीं कराऊंगा आज. इतना फ्लेमिंग्स लेफ्ट हैंड रूल अगर तुम्हें पता चल गया, लॉरेंट्ज फोर्स पता चल गया, ये एक्टिविटी पता चल गई, तो इसको पढ़ लेना. And then we will go to DC motor in the next class. Okay, in this class I have planned only this much only. इतना आपको समझ में आ जाए तो easy हो जाएगा. Give me some response. No response. Give me some response so that I know that you are watching and listening. Okay, now जब मैंने अब ये दिशा बदल दी, when I change the direction of the battery, now my current direction changed. Okay, now the current became from C to A. So now the current direction is this. Okay, एंड आई चेंज द मैग्नेटिक फील्ड ऑल्सो, मैं मैग्नेटिक फील्ड भी बदल देता हूँ। अब मेरा मैग्नेटिक फील्ड ऊपर से नीचे आ रहा है, मेरा मैग्नेटिक फील्ड ऊपर से नीचे आ रहा है। तो अब मेरा कंडक्टर कहाँ जाएगा? तो मैं क्या करता हूँ, सबसे पहले मैं मैग्नेटिक फील्ड से अलाइन करता हूँ, विच मीन्स मैं अपनी फर्स्ट फिंगर को नीचे की तरफ पॉइंट कर रहा हूँ। उसके बाद मैं अपनी मिडिल फिंगर खोलता हूँ और उसको रेड से अलाइन कर लेता हूँ, ऐसे घुमा के, ठीक है। उसके बाद मैं अंगूठा खोलता हूँ, तो मैं क्या देखता हूँ कि अंगूठा अभी भी पेज के बाहर कर रहा है, विच मीन्स इस केस में भी जो मेरा कंडक्टर है वो पेज के ऊपर उठने वाला है। इस केस में भी मेरा कंडक्टर पेज से ऊपर उठने वाला है। गॉट इट? अंडरस्टूड? यस और नो? ओके, to make you use this Fleming's left hand rule, I give you a small problem. Okay, I am sitting on a chair. Okay, I am sitting on a chair in a room. Okay, and electrons are moving from the back wall to the front wall like this. Okay, the electrons are moving from the back wall to the front wall like this, and I have set up a magnetic field which is going from the top. Okay, which means the north pole is on the top, which is going from top to bottom, अब मेरे ये इलेक्ट्रॉन्स कहाँ को जाएंगे? ओके, दिस इज माई, आई एम सेटिंग दैट साइड, सो दिस इज माई लेफ्ट एंड दिस इज माई राइट। ठीक है, ये इलेक्ट्रॉन्स की बीम किधर को मुड़ेगी? दिस इज द बैक ऑफ द वॉल, ओके, दिस इज द फ्रंट वॉल, FRONT, फ्रंट। ओके, ये मेरा लेफ्ट है, यू कैन सी द L, ये मेरा राइट है। ओके, अब जो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड है वो ऊपर से नीचे है, विच मीन्स इधर मेरा साउथ पोल है और ऊपर मेरा नॉर्थ पोल है। ओके, सो द मैग्नेटिक फील्ड इज डायरेक्टेड फ्रॉम द रूफ टू द फ्लोर। ओके, और अब ये इलेक्ट्रॉन्स की बीम किधर को मुड़ने वाली है? मेरी बाईं तरफ जाएगी कि दाईं तरफ जाएगी कि सीधी निकल जाएगी? बताओ। The last question for the day. We'll finish after this. You people are not interested. Nobody is responding. आज लगता बहुत थके हुए हो। Shingarika writes, my net is exhausted. To me, it seems that you are exhausted. Okay, tell me. जल्दी बताओ। किधर को मुड़ने वाले हैं ये इलेक्ट्रॉन्स? किधर को मुड़ेंगे? लेफ्ट की राइट? वेटिंग, जल्दी करो, ये आखिरी है। जितनी जल्दी बताओगे उतनी जल्दी क्लास खत्म कर दूंगा। Nobody is responding. अमीशा, तू ही बता दे, लेफ्ट को जाएंगे इलेक्ट्रॉन्स की बीम की राइट को जाएगी? राइट। ओके, हाउ राइट? ओके, यू आर राइट, राइट इज राइट, बट हाउ? नाउ लेट मी एक्सप्लेन टू यू। ओके, अब हम कन्वेंशनली करंट का डायरेक्शन लेते हैं ऑपोजिट, तो which means that my current direction is from the front to the back. This is the direction of my current. करंट आगे से पीछे की तरफ आ रहा है, इलेक्ट्रॉन्स इधर से उधर जा रहे हैं, तो हम हमेशा करंट का डायरेक्शन ऑपोजिट टू द इलेक्ट्रॉन्स लेते हैं, which means कि मेरा करंट सामने वाली दीवार से पीछे वाली दीवार की तरफ आ रहा है। ओके, उसके बाद मैं मैग्नेटिक फील्ड लेता हूँ। मैग्नेटिक फील्ड हमने ग्रीन कलर से लिया था, तो मैं मैग्नेटिक फील्ड लेता हूँ। मैग्नेटिक फील्ड मेरा ऊपर से नीचे है। गॉट इट? तो अब मैं अलाइन करता हूँ अपने लेफ्ट हैंड को। मैंने लेफ्ट हैंड को उस तरफ नीचे की तरफ मैंने फर्स्ट फिंगर को पॉइंट कर लिया नीचे की तरफ इस ग्रीन एरो के साथ। ओके, माय फर्स्ट फिंगर इज पॉइंटिंग डाउनवर्ड्स लाइक दिस towards the direction of the magnetic field. उसके बाद मैं अपनी मिडिल फिंगर खोलता हूँ और उसको अलाइन करता हूँ. ओके, सो माई मिडिल फिंगर गेट्स अलाइंड लाइक दिस. माई मिडिल फिंगर अलाइंड लाइक दिस. और मैंने नीचे वाली को डिस्टर्ब नहीं करा, नीचे वाली को करे करे मैंने इधर घुमाया, तो क्या हुआ कि मेरा अंगूठा ऐसे बाहर की तरफ आ गया. ओके, मेरा अंगूठा ऐसे बाहर की तरफ आ गया. गॉट इट? मेरा अंगूठा ऐसे बाहर की तरफ आ गया. दिस इज द थंब. Okay, so the thumb will give me the direction in which the beam of the charge will move. So my electron will move like this. It will come out of the page. It will move towards the right. ठीक है, right की तरफ वो shift हो जाएगा. Understood? I hope all of you have understood. Try a few more questions. Then you will know how to align your hand with the direction of current and with the direction of magnetic field, and once you have understood this, then it becomes really very easy. Okay, that's all in today's class. I had planned this only for today. So we have discussed what are Lorentz forces, we have discussed the activity which shows how a conductor placed in a magnetic field experiences a force, and we also discussed Fleming's left hand rule, which is used to find the direction of motion or the direction of force. So that finishes today's class. Thank you very much. Bye bye. See you in the next class. We will be doing DC motor. Thank you very much.